church is on fire when faith is proclaimed. Welcome to Voices in Faith. This program is designed to give our parishioners a platform to share their stories of faith with our wider community. Faith is complete when it is shared, and God is glorified when faith is kept alive.
Hello everyone, welcome to our faith sharing program. And today our guest is Setti, and Setti is one of the earliest members of St. Francis Xavier community. She is fully loyal to the parish, very much dedicated and full of passion. So let us welcome Setti to our program.
Thank you very much, Father. I'm not one of the earliest members, but I'm probably one of the older ones that's still alive. I've been a parishioner here for 45 years. My first introduction to this parish was during the late 1970s. The church was collecting things for the Vietnamese boat people. And I said, I'll volunteer to do that. They put me in the music room, and it was full of clothes from ceiling to floor and all four walls. And I got to sort through it, and it's amazing what people will donate. But anyway, that was my original coming to St. Francis.
So this was your first parish, or before you came to St.
No, I lived in Highland Park, and St. Ignatius was my parish there.
Okay. So. What bring you to this place?
We had 2 children and a 2-bedroom house. The bedrooms were 10 by 10. And we lived next door to my in-laws, which really is never a good idea. So we decided to look for a bigger house, and my husband had a friend in Burbank, and he said, well, Burbank's nice, go look there. And we found this house, and I tell you, I was very impressed by the fact. I live on Brighton, which runs up the front stairs of the church. And so as soon as we saw the house, we looked up, and there was St. Francis at the end of the street. And I said, maybe this is a sign from God, John. I don't know. At any rate, I worked with the Vietnamese boat people donations, and I got to know all the people in the RE office. And I enjoyed their company, so I offered to do some clerical work for them. And when the secretary retired, they offered me the job. And I said, oh, yeah, I think I need to go back to work. That'd be great. Kids were in school up here, so it was very convenient for me. And I did that for 19 years, and then the director of religious education was let go, and Father Dick asked me if I could do the job. And I said, well, I've seen it done for 19 years. I suppose I could do it. But I said, you cannot call me the director of religious education, because I don't have those kind of credentials. So they made up this name, coordinator of religious education, and that's what I did for another 3 years. So I was in the RE office for a total of 22 years, and I really, really did love it. While I was there, I also taught the 4-year-olds on Sunday morning, and I did the release time program through the public schools. I don't even think they have that program anymore. I mean, that's how old I am. These
What
things
is what is the name of that program?
The release time program. It was for 4th and 5th graders who would be released from the school during the school day for about a 45-minute period. As a teacher, you would take your students and you would walk to a nearby house that you had lined up ahead of time, and give them religious education, because a lot of the public school kids didn't come here to religious education, and they didn't know anything about their religion, or some of them didn't know anything at all about God. So it was a great program, but I do not believe it's been in existence for a long, long time.
So, I noticed that, you have great faith. I see the way you participate in the Eucharist, the way you receive the Eucharist. Everything is kind of inspiring me.
Thank you.
So when I think about my life, I'm from India. I look like Indian. So I'm from India. So I received my faith from my parents, and we have great family tradition. What about you? Where did you get your faith? From family, or somebody inspire you?
Well, I am a cradle Catholic. I was baptized Catholic at birth, and my mother was a convert, and we all know converts make very good Catholics. So she kept me on the straight and narrow. They sent me to Catholic school for the first 8 years. that they couldn't afford the high school, so then I went on to public school.
Mm-hmm.
But I also had an aunt who was a nun. She's been a nun for 80 years.
80
she went
years.
in at 18, died at 98. 80 years as Servite nun, and of course she wanted me to be a nun. She asked me one time if I wanted to be a nun. I said, well, sister, I'm not sure if I want to be a nun or I want to work in the local dime store, which was quite a difference, but
Yeah.
I was only a kid. What did I know? And by the way, her chosen name was Sebastian.
Oh my Lord. A lot of people have my name.
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
I don't know why she chose that one. Must have had something to do with the saint. I know she used to give me these little holy cards. This saint strapped to a tree and arrows coming out of him every which way.
Yeah.
So I assume that's the way he died. So that's pretty much where my faith came from. We went to church every Sunday. John and I were not too churched when we moved to Burbank. There was a lot of strife in the move. My in-laws were not too happy about that. So the marriage was a little strifeful at that point. But anyway, I would come up here and take the kids to Sunday school when they were 4 and 5. And they were just 1 and 3 when we moved in. When they were 4 and 5, I put them in Sunday school, and then I would go to what was then the 10:30 Mass. And one Sunday I said to him, you know, you're setting a very bad example because you're here watching TV, they're in Sunday school, and I'm in church. Why don't you try coming with me next week? Well, he said, okay. Walked up the front steps, and I don't think we even got to the top step, and someone reached out their hand to shake his hand and say, you're new here. My name is, what is your name? And that happened 2 or 3 times before we went into church, and when we came out of church, 3 or 4 more people said, oh, you're new here. It was so welcoming. It was so good for him. That man never missed a Sunday Mass again till the day he died. So I think St. Francis is very welcoming.
I think St. Francis is known for welcoming attitude. You know?
I agree.
Yeah, when I came first year 3 years ago, that was my initial impression. You know, everybody is embracing everybody else, and you are very good at that. Actually, you know, you greet everybody. You know, one thing I noticed: not only come Sunday Mass, you try to come on weekdays. Even during the pandemic, you know, when people were a little scared of coming.
Oh, I think we needed it more then.
Then you are coming. Yeah. So church is very important for you. How is church helping you in your spiritual growth?
Well, I don't think I'd have a spiritual being at all if it wasn't for this church. I mean, my children weren't baptized here because we lived someplace else, but they received their first communion here, their confirmation. Both of my parents and my husband were buried from this church. I plan to be buried from this church if I'm still living here, which I hope to be living here. It just means a lot to me. My whole life has been wrapped up. I mean, if I'm 77, I've been here 45 years. So more than half my life I have been here and I have been involved. Like I said, being in the religious education office for so many years. My husband ran the fair for 3 years. And when he was running the fair, that meant I was doing a lot of work too. I think I chaired at least 6 or 7 different booths over those 3 years. It's just my community. It's my place. And I have tried going to other churches when I'm out of town or whatever. Never feels the same. It's just not St. Francis.
This is your home.
Yeah.
This is your home. And you already mentioned you were in a religious education program. You come to church, you are helping the fair along with your husband. I know you are a Eucharistic minister, and you also take communion to the sick. That is a great ministry, eh? You know, because a lot of people, they cannot come to church, you know. That is a great...
I used to do that at the hospital too before the pandemic. Go from room to room and give communion. Maybe that will start again, I don't know.
So that kind of ministry, does it give you a kind of fulfillment or...
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember being commissioned as a Eucharistic minister exactly 30 years after my first communion, same day.
Same
my
day.
first communion, yeah. And the first time and of course when we started, we were not allowed to give the host, only the cup. And I'll remember my parents coming, who did not live here. They came up for the weekend just to see me do that. And they were in my line, and I gave them communion. It was very, very touching. It meant a lot to me, because they really hadn't been very churched in their older age, only because my mom was so sick. So it was nice to have them come to church this evening. I actually renewed my marriage vows here at 25 years. And so it's a special place for me. It really is. And I've been a lector, I've been a sacristan. All of that's kind of in the past right now. I don't know if the pandemic slowed me down or what, but I'm not doing as much as I used to do.
Yeah, I think because of the situation, now luckily everything is changing. Hopefully June is going to be a great month for the church.
Let's hope.
I think every parish, in the archdiocese is going to reopen by the end of this month. I'm very excited because of this. I miss seeing people also. Okay,
and even when you see them, do you know who they really are? Because they're covered up.
I know. Everybody has a mask.
I'm always amazed if someone says, "Hi, Peg." I think, who really did recognize me with that mask?
We need to start learning their name again. Huh?
Yeah.
I hope not. So, one of the blessings of this St. Francis Xavier Church is we have a beautiful shrine of Mother Gabrini. Sometimes people say, I'm going to Calcutta to see the place where Mother Teresa lived. We are going to Assisi to see the place of Francis of Assisi. We have a place here, a saint really lived, prayed, blessed people. So I don't think there is any parish in this archdiocese have this privilege. I know because you are part of the Italian Catholic Federation, ICF. What do you think about that?
Well, I find it fascinating that Mother Cabrini owned all of this property. Evidently, the Archdiocese acquired this property from her. That particular shrine of hers is where she knelt to pray. But it used to be up on the top of Mount Raphael, which someday when we're outside, I'll show you which mountain that is.
Okay.
And when they built the Cabrini Villas, they called this church and said, we're going to demolish this unless you want it. And if you want it, it's up to you to get it down to your property. So the ICF paid for bringing that down here and putting it on our property. But it is amazing to think that right here in Burbank, we have a building where a saint knelt to pray. And I used to take the religious education kids through there on tours. And then, of course, the ICF, I think, has a tour once a month, don't they? I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah, once a month. Because of the situation, is not happening. But as I mentioned before, luckily, we are able to do it very soon. Okay? So, I think, recently, a couple of people came to see me. They need a special favor from God. They asked me, can I pray for them? Then I said, we have a shrine here. I took them there. Week later, they called me, got it.
Oh my goodness.
So I want to invite them and share their witness here, So things are happening. I wish we can promote this. Like you said, while we were having private conversation, we don't have ICF here anymore, but I think we can once again look around and see how can we promote this.
Maybe they could start one again, I don't know.
Yeah.
This parish used to be very Italian. A lot of people, in fact, that's when I said we walked up the front stairs and this man said, you look like an Italian. And my husband said, and I am. And then this man was Italian. So, I mean, right away they got him into the ICF. And then he started cooking for every event they had, plus the country fairs. So.
You already mentioned that when your husband came first time to the church, because you invited him, so he was welcomed by 3 or 4 people at different times in
Yeah.
the same day.
Yeah.
Okay, that is, as we already said, one of the unique
Yeah.
features of this community. We are a welcoming group, welcoming community. Similarly, there may be certain other important aspects which you may like it here. If somebody asks you, or if invite somebody to St. Francis Xavier Church, what are the few things you may tell them? Come on here, we are special. Anything you want to share?
Well, I would just say that, like I said, the parish is very friendly. They would not feel unwelcome when they came here. And I've gone to other parishes where I felt very unwelcome. When we used to shake hands at the Our Father, I have been in churches where I looked at, I went like this and people went. I like the fact that we used to hold hands at the Our Father. Maybe none of that will ever come back. But St. Francis is just a very friendly parish. Our deacons are great. I don't know of any other church that has 3 deacons. They all give great homilies. You and Father Benny do great homilies. The music is wonderful. There's no reason they shouldn't come here.
Yeah. Let me ask you a personal question.
Okay.
Do you have any stories of faith to share? Any particular event where you think, God touched me, or something similar?
I don't know if you would consider this religious or not, but 8 years ago, my friend Stacy Schumacher and I started making sandwiches for the homeless. And I am so gratified by the amount of people that come to do sandwiches. We do between 300 and 500 sandwiches every single month. And even with the pandemic, we only missed 1 month. And that was the month where everyone was hoarding bread and we couldn't get any bread to make sandwiches. But that's been going on for 8 years. And it's a great feeling to take that food down to the food bank and see that it is delivered every day to these homeless people, Monday through Friday. Sometimes I've taken sandwiches myself just to the park because I see somebody that's homeless, and I think, well, I've got enough to take to Burbank Temporary Aid. I could take a handful out for these people. So I don't know that that's a religious thing, but it's very touching to me, and a ministry I'm very, very proud of.
That is very much religious. When Jesus comes for the final judgment, one of the questions Jesus is going to ask all of us is this: I was hungry, did you feed me?
Aha.
See?
Okay, it was religious then, wasn't it?
You were feeding, so Jesus will be very happy with you.
Yeah. Back a long time ago, this parish was built in 1954. So in 2004 was our 50th Jubilee. And Father Dick asked me if I would be the archivist and just dig up little interesting things about the parish for a whole year, for the 50th year. And that was fun. That was fun. I got to interview people that were parishioners here from the very beginning, and then I'd put their story in the bulletin. I had an article in the bulletin every week, and on the bulletin board in the breezeway, I would make a big poster and find old pictures of things around. It was fun. Someday I hope they put those things out again. I think they're still around somewhere.
I like the idea. Maybe we have to start again.
Yeah. Or dig up the old stuff, because there's a lot of new people now that might be interested in some of our history. Yeah.
I think that's a great point, History is very important.
Yeah.
So today we have everything here. Actually, a lot of people worked behind. Not only working behind, they worked years ago, and we are enjoying the fruit of their hard work.
Right.
Yeah, so it's important to know the history and appreciate it.
I would say the Italian community built this parish, but it's the Filipino community that's kept it going. Because we had a lot of people leave when we went from Holy Cross priests to the Archdiocese, a lot of people left and went to St. Robert's, St. Finbar, or wherever they went. But the Filipinos really have kept this parish going. So I say God bless them for that.
God bless them. They are very much active with the popular devotions also. I think that's also important to keep us alive, make us feel excited all the time. So, if you have a message to the community, what is that message?
Oh, I would say get involved. I can remember when I was a youngster coming here, and the old people who were at my age this time, or then, would say to me, we've done it all, we've been there, we've done it, it's time for you young people to get involved. And my husband and I did get involved. But I think everybody needs to do something up here. There's always something to be done. And I think if they get involved, the parish will mean more to them. That's my hope anyway.
Yeah. We pray for that. Huh?
Yeah.
So, you did a lot. You were in different ministries for many, many years. Where did you get all this energy?
That's a good question. My mother used to say to me, could you just sit down and talk to me for a minute? I have a lot of nervous energy. I'm always up doing, like if I'm watching a TV program, every commercial I'm up doing something. I just know it's a lot of nervous energy. Plus, I like helping people. And I liked helping my parish. So
I think that is the key.
it's a work of joy.
So I think you have a purpose. You love Jesus, and you want to serve Jesus, and you also want to build up your community.
And we all need to have a purpose in life.
Yeah.
This last year has been difficult because I volunteer a lot around the community, and I haven't been able to do any of it. And it's been hard sitting home and doing nothing a lot of the time. So thank goodness it's almost over.
What is your hobby? Do you have any hobby?
Gardening, and this is the first year that I've gone from flowers to vegetables. And I ate my first bell pepper today from my garden. And actually I'm leaving on a trip tomorrow, so we'll see if when I come back, if the animals have eaten it or if there's anything there. I don't necessarily have a green thumb, but I do like to garden. And I like to read.
Do you have any funny stories to share with us?
Funny. Oh, I don't know. Maybe nothing I can say here.
Oh, that's okay. All right. Yeah.
Oh.
Anything else you like to share today?
I don't know. I had made some notes to talk to you about, but I think I've told you everything that that I was interested in this parish, and I'm hoping to be here. I hope to be buried from here. I'm hoping I'm going to stay till my time is over.
You are going to be here many, many more great years, okay? So, Peg, thank you so much for spending time with me and with the community. And I always appreciate, I always admire you because you come to church, not only you want to serve all the time. And I don't know from where you get all this energy and inspiration. I know from Jesus. Okay. So you touched every aspect of the church. You were there for faith formation through religious education program, and you reach out the homeless with the different sandwich program and other program, and you were part of the Italian Catholic Federation, ICF. And you were very much involved with your family to the fair program, So probably next year we can have it again. Then you are you are a Eucharistic minister. You visit sick with the Eucharist.
Yeah.
It's a great way of sharing our faith, and we all are proud of you. Not only me, the whole parish. So keep it up. Thank you for inspiring us.
Oh, you're welcome.
And God continue to bless you. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this week's Voices in Faith. May God bless you and your family, and we'll see you next week.